don't know.
Hmm.
قال لي يا مال.
Di, name nga. Mauli?
He has made me a co-host, right, so that I can talk. He had made me a co-host, right?
Starting every
Murli, can you please check whether Sir has joined in? Hello? Murli, can you please check
Yes, sir. Tell me, sir.
whether Sinam Sir has joined?
I'm not at. Yes, sir. Wait, sir. Wait, no. Yes, sir.
He has done. He has then admit. Sinam Lenin Singh.
Yes, yes.
You have to make him a co-host.
Yes, sir.
Sinamji, up, you're there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wait. Okay.
Yeah. Hello,
Join, sir.
Hi, Manju. Just give me a moment.
Yeah,
I'll
sure.
just- All right. Very good morning, Manjunath.
Yeah. Sinamji, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you. How are you?
Doing good. Doing good. So, shall we start, Sinamji?
Sure.
Okay. So, hope everyone can hear me. Good morning, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well and safe. Today, we have an amazing guest with us, Mr. Sinam Lenin Singh, who is a seasoned HR professional. So, Sinam comes with a rich experience in campus recruitment and hiring. He has worked with technology giants like Juniper Networks, Oracle, Ericsson, Cisco, and SAP Labs. Sinamji, on behalf of chairman, principal, faculty, students of Siddharth Group of Engineering Colleges, Tirupati, Puttur, I would like to welcome you and thank you for accepting our invitation for a mentoring session. So today's webinar is on a topic, campus to corporate, where Mr. Sinam would talk on how to enhance your employability and what it takes you to get into a corporate job. So now I would request Mr. Sinam sir to address the students. Yes,
Thank you
Sinam.
so much, Manjunath. There was some network problem on my side.
Okay.
So let it be very generic on what we can discuss in this session.
Okay.
I would definitely would like to understand from you or maybe from the student standpoint what they are seeking inputs, and probably I can update on okay what could be the things that each of the students can focus on to be an employer, what they call ready,
Okay.
right? And then yes, there are so many aspects on what each of the student would look out to and look at as a career prospect as well. But let's see if there are any questions that which I can answer. Yes, there are so many questions that I may not be answered immediately, but still I'll try to answer those up to my potential, up to my knowledge that I have.
Good. So, Sinam sir, what we have done is that we have kept most of the students on mute, because what happens is that if you start unmuting them, they'll come up with a lot of questions.
Sure.
And so what we have done is that we have chosen 5 questions, best questions from the students.
Okay.
Which I would like to let you know. Okay. So the one of the few questions that we have picked is now how the companies are focusing on talent acquisition in this pandemic.
In this pandemic.
Yeah. How the companies are focusing on talent acquisition in this pandemic.
Okay, this is a very generic question, I would say. If we look at the current trend in the market have not slowed down, right? The number of people hired through campus or hired through lateral or experienced hires, I don't see there has been a dip in that particular demand. However, there are spike in terms of demand in early career talent because of multiple business reasons, and because that early talent bring lots of things which is a newer to in terms of innovations, in terms of ideas. So those are also one of the very very important target audience for any organization, I would say, at this point in time. But in this pandemic, in terms of talent acquisition space, don't see that the things has been moved down in terms of hiring. But yes, it is not as it was in the regular time that we used to hire, but still it's not less than what we used to do. But in terms of the early talent demand, I think it's been spike across all organization that I've known so far. So market has been opened up, and it's not something that hiring is going to stop. It's all about what talent that the organization needs from the market, and what talent that each of the candidate has, because there are enough number of positions available that I can see in the market.
Okay. Okay. So the second question is that what it takes for a student to get into a corporate job, to get into a good IT company.
Mhm. Yeah. So that's a very good question, Manjunath. And again, this is something not specific to any candidates. I think first of all the students needs to understand on where they want to take their career forward. That's the first thing. Because if you don't know where you are heading towards, then you will not work towards that success story for yourself. So what important would be that each one of you think through on what you want to do. It could be that I wanted to become an ML engineer, I wanted to become a full stack developer, I want to be in data science, I wanted to do an entrepreneurship because I have that innovation kind of mindset. Think through on those points that you wanted to achieve for yourself, and work backwards. So for example, you are very keen to do something in ML, right? Then look out for those opportunities, certification courses, which is beyond your curriculum, because that will stand out when you present your resume. Maybe when you meet any company for that matter in that particular segment of roles, then your profile will stand out. You have to have that edge from any other candidate, right? It's a competition. It's a competition among your best friends of the friends, right? When you are going to get into, on an organization. So it's all about how you put forward your best approach, how you make yourself, open up to learning new technologies. But having said learning new technologies, that's one of the key factor. But you have to look backward and see on what all those things that you want to do, and do certain things which can enhance your resume, which can enhance your skills by say for example, they're getting into some of those open source contributing channels, or you do certain courses which will help you enhance your skills. And those many factors will help you to build that particular platform, because whatever you study in curriculum, yes, those are the things that you have to study, but beyond your curriculum, you have to prepare so that you are up to date, you are competing amongst the same level of caliber. However, if somebody have already done certain courses or have been contributing in some of those coding platform, then they will have the edge from you. And all the students may not be from computer science or IT background, right? There might be students from EC, mechanical, civil, chemical. So it's all about your choice that you have made to study that. But at one point in time, you might have felt that, okay, I wanted to study computer science, I wanted to be a developer. There are so many students like that also in this current scenario. So what is there for them? That means, if you wanted to get into the computer science kind of a domain, or wanted to become a developer, what important is, you need to do at least 150% of work that a computer science student is doing right now, right? Because you have to match up to that particular level of technical skills which a computer science student would have gotten. So if you have that notion, if there are students here, who are from those the non the circuit branches who wanted to become a software engineers later, then you have to bring up the best foot forward for yourself by doing at least 150% of what a computer science student would have done. Hope that answered, Manjunath.
Yes, yes, very well, very well. Thank you, sir. So the other question is that what is the success mantra to crack a HR round after the technical rounds? Because I have one student. He said that I have gone up to the technical round, have cleared about 8 rounds of technical stuff. When I went to the HR round, I didn't get through. I was not selected. So, what is
Mhm.
the success mantra to crack a HR round? Because since you are in HR, you take a lot of interviews. So they want to know.
Okay. Again, there is no success mantra. Okay. The only thing that I can tell as an experience on that particular platform is this: be yourself, right? That's the first thing that you have to portray to the next person that you're talking to, and you need to know things which, for example, say if you are interviewing for an organization X, and say for example I asked you about it, okay, what do you know about X? And if you cannot answer that question, then it's very simple that you are not so interested in knowing that company, right? So that means it's not about clearing your technical rounds, one, two, online tests and other things, but it's all about what you want to do and what do you know about this organization, which you are very excited about. If that is not the feeling that you are putting it across, then it's like same thing that I spoke earlier. It's about you clearing the rounds, which you will do. Okay, you all are good student, you all have done amazing job, you will clear those online tests, technical questions and other thing, but that behavioral part, which is very significant to an organization, right? You should know about those prospect. Okay, this is a company. Why I want to join is because I know this company does XYZ things, and which is something aligned to the interest that I have, right? I have a friend, I have a senior, who is working in that company, and I have spoken to him or her, a months back because this company was coming in, and then I know that I wanted to be part of this company, and I've asked them, I've checked with them on why I should join this company, what is the prospect that this company will give to me. So you need to have that thorough homework done before you even sit for that interview, not only for say the take for the HR interview per se, but for the overall interview. There might be a managerial round. The manager might want to know about, okay, what do you know about this organization? Why do you want to be a part of this organization? What excites you? So all those things matters, and then if you cannot answer those simple things, that means you're not prepared. You're just sitting there because you have cleared those interviews, like online test and all. And I'm sorry, there's some background noise. There's some construction going on. But that is very important and significant when you sit for an interview, be it HR interview or managerial, or any segment of interview that you will go through. Again, there's no secret ingredient. There's no mantra. But what important is you do a thorough homework before you even sit for an interview. You need to know all those small things which you might feel that okay, this doesn't matter. But yes, if you put across your thought process, your ideas, your input when there is some simple question asked to you, then that makes more interesting when we talk about this particular role or for an organization. So just take an example. Uh, if you have to go to a restaurant and say there is a birthday party, for example, and how you choose this particular restaurant that you are going to go. Either you will ask some of your friends who have been there, right? Either you know that, okay, you have only been to this particular restaurant and you knew that, okay, these are the food items which are awesome. That's why you're going to that particular place. So that means you know certain aspect about it. So know things before you get into an interview process. That's the basic thing that all of you can do. And yes, at times certain organization would want to have individuals who are very strong in communication. Then you will know in the JD, right, in the job description. Then you work towards that, right? And some particular role may not require that much of communicate, but communication these days is very important. So you need to steal a strike there for yourself, that in terms of communication, how you can put it across your thoughts and ideas to the second person. Hope that answer a bit.
Yeah, very much, very much. Thanks. Because the other question was on communication itself. I think the one of the question was how important is communication to get into a job versus technical skills.
Yeah, I think I can add to that what I spoke. See, communication skill, like I said, when we say communication skills, there are particular company who may want you to directly interact with the customers directly from maybe day one, or maybe from the third month of your joining. That will be there in the job description. If the JD says very good communication skills, because you have to talk to the customers, you have to talk to those individuals or stakeholders, then those things are very, very important for you, right? However, if somebody is not so fluent in terms of communication, in terms of English, which is what we all know about communication, but that is not true. Communication meanings, how you can put across what you wanted to tell to the next person, right? If you are clear with that thought, if you are clear with that articulation, it doesn't matter. All of us have our own influences, right? A mother tongue influence. All of us have not born, speaking English from day one, right? But it's all about how you put across your thought process to the second person. If the other person can relate to, can understand what you're saying in a very basic way, right? Then that's there. You are there in that particular communication. In terms of fluency, you will pick it up once you get into a system, and once you have an interest about this particular English as a communication channel, then you will definitely excel, right? But most importantly, the thought process that you have, if you can articulate well to the next person, that's what communication means, right? If you're not able to put across your point of view to the next person, then that means you lack communications. Fluency is the other thing, which you can excel while you do practice, right? And then I met like maybe like hundred thousands of students in the past 10 and a half years in campus, or 13 and a half years in overall TA. Yeah, there are a lot many students who are not fluent in English, but they could present well, right? They could articulate, and fluency, this will pick it up when you keep on talking, interact with your friends in English, you'll help yourself there. Hope that answer, Manjunath.
Yes. Very much, very much. So the other question is that engineering is of 8 semesters. So from which semester I have to get prepared for jobs?
Day one.
Okay.
Day one. So we all know our potential. Okay. Each one of you, it's very important that you know what is your strong point. You should know where I am lacking, right? Then you work towards that. Make your strong points even more stronger. Make your weaknesses you know, stronger step by step. Look at those points, jot it down in a piece of paper. Okay, I'm an CA student. I'm lacking in algorithm. I'm lacking in data structure. How can I improve this? There are multiple channels right now that you can go and read and make yourself uh, you know groom in all those technologies as well, right? Use those channels. You have your professors, who are well qualified to let you know about those things. You have your own uh, mentor, I would say, these days. YouTube, the other channels that you can see, all those information which you wanted to know is already there in those channels, right? So it start from day one and focus on where you wanted to go forward. Okay, but in between there might be a change of interest. Okay, that's all happened. Each one of us had happened. I come from an engineering background. Okay, uh, and then I'm right now in HR function. So it's all depend on the interest that you have later. However, the planning of an industry ready start from day one. Think through on what all things that you are lacking. Try to improve them, and things that you are good at it, make it even more solid, prepared well, and then keep on studying on those aspects that you wanted to like excel. And if you do that, I mean, you are industry ready when the company comes in and talk to you.
Okay. So while you were talking, there was a question from one of the students. He
Mhm.
has messaged me. Sir, suggest the best way to improve communication skills.
Okay, there are, I think, multiple things which can improve the way that we communicate. Or see, there are a couple of things. One is called fluency that I mentioned, and one is called how you can articulate, right? So there are multiple things at which you can look forward to. One, if we are, or rather have a lot of influence of our local languages, then it's difficult that we come out from that particular environment and excel on certain other languages. But how we can improve is, there are some basic things. One, start reading certain paragraphs of maybe a newspaper, maybe, say, any paragraph from any novels or something like that, and try to record that and listen to it. See where your pronunciation is going wrong. See where your pronunciation is going wrong. Try to improve on those words first. That will become uh, your the way that you pronounce those words, they'll improve. And then there's something called grasping. When somebody talks, am I able to grasp those things? How to improve those? Then you can listen to say English news channels, or you can even listen to all those English songs, or maybe movie with an headphone. Because it happened to me, for when I uh, at times, it's a very funny story. Okay, and I'm sure everybody would have had that experience as well. Suddenly, you're watching a movie, and suddenly you miss some points, and but your friends are laughing at it, and you just realize, okay, what was that? Because you're not able to grasp at that immediate point. But later, when you listen in on headphone, then it was very easier for me to understand. And it was long back, okay, maybe like 8 or 9 standard. So at times it happens this way. So how to improve is keep on reading aloud, in front of you, say your mirror. Don't bother about what people will think about it, and then what my family member will think about it. It's all about how you are going to improve yourself. Talk to your friends, in English. And also it's very important, which is one aspect that I will tell you. Tell your friends, if in case if you are lacking in certain way, then to make sure that they convey that particular information to you. And don't get offended when they say that, right? If you wanted to improve, if you don't, then the choice is yours. Okay, if you want to improve, keep a benchmark. Look at somebody. Maybe my friend Rahul speaks awesome. Okay, I wanted to be like Rahul. Keep him as a benchmark and see how he speaks, how he articulates things. If you follow those patterns, you will definitely learn some of the tricks on how I can improve myself. It's very important to keep a benchmark also, because that's where you're going to fall. Okay, if you don't keep a benchmark, you will not fall. You will not be in that particular place that you want to be, right? So basic thing, keep on reading, keep on reading aloud, interact with your friends in English, right? You can even go to certain courses if you think you lack in, maybe in grammar, maybe in vocabulary, right? You can go there, because that will help you also, because it will give you certain structure on how you can frame those sentences, or how you can make yourself aware about, in terms of articulation and other aspect that you want to learn, right, which you feel you are lacking to it. So it's a very basic thing. You just try to record one thing today, for example, and then you just prepare some of those things that we just spoke about, and look back in the next 1 month, or maybe say 2 months. Okay, try to compare both this paragraph that you have read down. See what is the difference. If you see the difference, then you are there. So it's a continuous learning process. So try to do that. Maybe like 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 month. Try to put across those recording there, and see, how you have improved yourself.
Yeah. Thank you, Sim. So there is one more question, like, which other domains, apart from, I don't want to be a techie, which are the other domains I can get into, so that my journey will be successful? Which are the other domains where I can get a job?
When you say other domains, it's like not software engineering.
Yes, he
Different.
doesn't want to be a techie, so he is looking for other domains also, to get into corporates or get into a job. So what are the other domains available?
There are multiple domains which are available. Okay, it could be in aerospace, it could be in manufacturing, it could be in supply chain. There are so many things. That's why it's important that you should know where you want to go forward. When you know that, you will look further to get those information. For example, I wanted to be in sales, for example. Then you cannot do only engineering and do sales, because you need to have that sales incubate. You have to have that sales DNA, right? Then you need to refine yourself. How you can refine? Going to a B school, right? Get into a good B school with sales and marketing kind of a branch in that particular college, right? Which will refine you to make sure that you become that sales or the pre-sales guy, right? Likewise, if you wanted to go into a supply chain, you cannot become a supply chain person only doing an engineering. Okay, then you search which are the best supply chain institute in India, right? That means you have to go into a B school again. And if you have that particular thing which you wanted to do next, then there are avenue which will open up, so that you will know where I have to look forward for certain information, where I have to hone my skill, where I have to improve some of those aspects that I might be lacking right now. Those avenue will open up. So it's very important for you to at least pick a couple of things that you have a choice. Okay, the career is going to be your choice later. Okay, don't make it somebody else's decision that which will hindrance your interest and other things. That should be your choice. So when you have those choice, then you will find path for yourself, where I wanted to really refine myself to make sure that I get that particular place that I wanted to be. So the avenues will open up and you will see those channels. And yes, there is nothing like, okay, the software engineering function is the only thing which you can do after you come out from college, right? There are multiple things. See, not only on the private function, there are so many things that you can do, even in the, public domain as well. Why not a civil servant? Why not do a UPSC, right? Why not do your own state level, short service commission? Why not in army? So you need to think all those choice that you wanted to make a couple of options. Okay, if I fall short of this, I want to do this, right? There has to be some bit of a backup plan, but yes, not necessarily, but but what happens is if you have multiple choices for you, then definitely you will fall into one of those categories. And if you have one choice, then you have to work really hard to get into that particular choice that you have, right? It's not necessary that you need to work for a person or for a company. You can build your own company. Put across your best thought process, innovations, ideas. There are lots of channels in which people will help guide you, right? So I think it's important on that aspect.
Okay,
Hope
thank
that
you.
answered it.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Ethan. So it is like one kind of not a tough question, but one student is like asking like which languages is being used widely in IT companies? Like, is it Java or Python? Where we want to focus mostly on these present days, in these circumstances.
I think none of the languages have came down in terms of uh, you know the market demand, I would say. But primarily, if you look at what all new technology that I should learn, and then which may enhance my interest in certain domain, I can tell about that because I don't see any languages has come down in terms of their market values, I would say, right? Java, if you want to do Java, there are so many things in Java, roles which is open. There are a couple of things which is very, very new and very interesting. If you have that, probably, there's certain organization which would love to hire you. Like for example, Golang, okay? Some of the technology like say Kubernetes, Dockers in cloud native front, right? If you have that, I mean, if there you can go into DevOps, if either you can go into a system engineering side. I think those are the domain which might help you. If somebody wants to go into a cloud function, right? But technology-wise, uh, from my perspective, I think there's nothing has been changed or has been, obsolete these days in terms of market values. It's still there: Java, C++, C Sharp, Python is pretty interesting these days when somebody wanted to do in data science, ML, right? So I think people who have such interest, you should definitely learn those things, which will help you enhance those skills. But yes, again, like I said, you should have an interest somewhere so that you can work towards that to become an excellent in those technologies.
Okay. One last question I have. This is, in terms of SAP per se, which SAP technology is good for me to pursue?
From ACP per se, we work on all segment of technologies. Okay, with all technology stack we worked on. But specifically talking about SAP and then the we have our own language, which is ABAP. So if somebody is very good in ABAP, then definitely you will get certain exposure when you join SAP, later, right? ABAP is one of those languages that you can learn. I think it's already available in all channels. Uh, as for HANA, which is again another the technology HANA database, you will find anywhere. What else? But there are no specific things that okay, you should have this to join SAP and other things, because we have everything which is across all stack and technologies. Even if if somebody is good in Java, we have Java developer role which is open for all experienced guys. So there's no specific as such in terms of technology, but if you know about those ABAP and HANA, I think that will definitely help in future. Not only with SAP. Okay, if you go to any services organization which actually work on those technology, they will definitely hire.
Okay. So these are the questions, Sinamji, from the students. So any last no one piece of advice you want to give it to them? Uh,
I think no advices. I would say it's all about inputs. Uh, but I think nowadays it's all about how you can improve yourself, see where you are lacking. I think that's a basic thing that you can start with, and try to excel on those things which you wanted to be. And then very importantly, manage your time well, because time is something that which is very important for us these days, right? Because you cannot just call back saying that okay, I missed it because I was doing something else. In the next 6 months to 1 year, all of you going to be somewhere, right? You will be market ready, you will be doing further studies, but it's important that you know where you wanted to go forward. And if you know that, you will definitely work towards that success story for yourself. There is no secret ingredients. It's all about how you wanted to excel yourself. Put a benchmark, see somewhere somebody who is successful, and try to learn something out of that individual. It could be your family member, it could be your friend, it could be your senior. So try to put a benchmark there so that you can be there in certain place that you wanted to be, right? And chase your dreams. That's about it, Anjana.
thank you, sir. Sir, so on behalf of chairman, principal, and faculty and students of Siddharth Group of engineering colleges, I would like to thank you for accepting our invitation for this wonderful session. So once again, thank you, Sinam sir, for your valuable insights. It was an amazing session, and I'm getting a lot of good feedbacks from students while we are talking. Thanks a ton, and thanks for all your support. Sinam.
You're welcome, Anjana, and thank you so much, everybody, for joining this session. I hope you have some inputs out of it, uh, and then and then happy to meet you one day, right? When things are good. And yes, I wish you all the very best and lots of success in your career.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.